Ladies and gents, you know it's Mr. Clean Up Gang, and I don't miss nothing at all. So as you guys can see on the screen display, I'm an Uncle Tom. This man said he's an Uncle Thomas, thinks that's gonna get him views, right? So last time I checked, Uncle Tom was a black person that advocates for white people, that goes hard for white people, that obeys white people and excessively advocate for white people, right? That's what an Uncle Tom is. And the definition is going to pop up because y'all know I'm very resourceful. Like everything I say makes sense and I come with receipts so you guys could understand. Like I talk in layman terms, right? So you guys can understand. Like I scoop down to a lot of Errol level so they can understand, because y'all Bud fans, y'all very much intelligent. Y'all can see through the bullshit, right? And it's sad that these niggas can't see through the bullshit. Now, if y'all familiar with the Boondocks, that would be an Uncle Tom. And it says it right here. A black man considered to be excessively obedient or servile to white people. If y'all familiar with Uncle Ruckus, from the Boondocks, he would be an Uncle Tom, right? So, because I'm an advocate for Terrence Bud Crawford, right? And I speak out on the LDBC nut sucking and try to discredit and degrade Terrence Bud Crawford's whole career, that makes me an Uncle Tom. Mind you, there's no white people involved in this right here. And this is why I'm so sad when it comes to my people, because it's like we have no knowledge, but we talk, right? And we don't ever think. My mom used to tell me, always think before you talk. But we tend to talk and we don't think. And we don't use our common sense. And we don't use critical thinking. So these guys believe that the LDBC are good people, are good for the sport of people, because they nut suck the PBC, right? And because the PBC is owned by no other than Al Heyman, the snake, they believe that this man has the best interest in boxing, right? Because he's black. Because he's black. Now let me ask y'all a question. When you go to the hood, I'm pretty sure y'all got white people in the hood too, right? When you go to the hood, right? Who motherfuckers be robbing in the hood, right? It be white people. Who be robbing in the hood? Do it be white people? Who be shooting in the hood? Does it be white people? Who be killing in the hood? Does it be white people? I don't motherfucking think so. Who be smoking mad fucking weed, right? That a whole bunch of motherfuckers on the corner make you feel mad uncomfortable when you walking past. You don't even want to go in your building. You feel afraid to go in your building because you see a whole bunch of motherfuckers smoking weed and sitting here doing mad shit that they're not supposed to be doing, right? Is it the white people, bro? Right? And this is just to show y'all that black people can be cancers to their own people. I need y'all to understand that. Not saying that white people aren't motherfucking cancers because we knew slavery happened, but black people can be cancers to our own community, whether it's the community you live in or the boxing community. Now, our motherfucking Heyman, right? If he was so much of a great person and he loved black people and he didn't give a fuck about none of that shit, right? He wouldn't be trying to blackball Terrence Bud Crawford, because Terrence Bud Crawford doesn't want to sign to the PBC, right? That's equivalent to the motherfuckers in the hood. They come to you, yo, turn blood, turn crip. Yo, turn this, turn that. And you say no. And because you say no, right, they make it hard for you to do any fucking thing around the hood. They can't touch you, but they make it hard for you to do shit around the hood. They make it uncomfortable for you to do shit around the hood. You can walk past and they say faggot. You feel me? You feel me? Or they could do other shit that make you feel uncomfortable to move around the hood, right? So you guys gotta fucking understand that because they're black, that doesn't mean that their intentions is always good. They can be black and only give a fuck about themselves. So please negate and get rid of that mindset that all black people mean you well, brothers and sisters. Please get rid of that mindset. That is not fucking true. That is not true. Y'all need to get rid. Look at Don motherfucking King. Don King was robbing the fuck out of all of these black fighters, bro. And he's a black man. Not saying Al Heyman is as bad as Don King, but Al Heyman is not a fucking great person either, bro. If he was a great person, he wouldn't stop Turnbull Crawford from making his money, bro. He wouldn't stop these guys from fighting Turnbull Crawford so Turnbull Crawford could feed his family, bro. He wouldn't be trying to do that. So you guys got to understand, just because you're black, that doesn't mean you're in the best interest of all black people. It just doesn't work that way. Now, if you guys are day ones, I started my channel with the glove gates, right? That was a fighter that I believe that was being treated wrong in Deontay Wilder. And I still believe, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's why we have different brains. Because we think for ourselves. Well, in this case, I think for myself. I don't think y'all Errol-sexuals think for yourself. Because everything that's been going on is obvious that this nigga Errol Spence Jr. is not a stand-up nigga. And Errol Spence Jr. and his team do not want to fight Turnbull Crawford. But y'all can't see that. And that makes me an Uncle Tom because I realize that shit. So, back to what I was saying. I started off my channel with the glove gates, right? Because I felt like Tyson Fury was cheating Deontay Wilder, right? So, if I was an Uncle Tom, right? Wouldn't I be a strong advocate for Tyson Fury, right? Wouldn't I be saying, yo, what the fuck y'all talking about? That dent is Deontay Wilder head. Like, that ain't nothing, bro. That ain't nothing. I see niggas with dent in their head all the time, right? And it don't even matter that Tyson Fury, he went from not being able to knock nobody out to knocking out everybody. I would be saying shit like that if I was an Uncle Tom. And that still would not make me an Uncle Tom because I believe that Tyson Fury didn't cheat. That would not make me an Uncle Tom. There is no solid evidence that Tyson Fury cheated. No solid evidence that Tyson Fury cheated. I just use critical thinking. And I'm not going to make niggas manipulate me, right? I'm not going to make the media manipulate me. I ain't going to do it. So, I was an advocate for Deontay Wilder. Not because it's black and white. It became black and white because I seen a lot of motherfucking white niggas chiming in and being disrespectful and saying a lot of racist shit. Like, I seen it happening. So it became black and white when it came to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But I was a strong advocate for Deontay Wilder. And for the motherfuckers that's saying, oh, how don't you respect Errol Spence Jr., but you respect Deontay Wilder? I'm going to tell you the difference between Errol Spence Jr. and Deontay Wilder. And y'all better understand this shit. And I will always respect Deontay Wilder up to today. I don't care what y'all want to say, bro. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I will always respect Deontay Wilder up to today. Do you know why? Because Deontay Wilder lost the first time and decided to get in the ring the second time and get in the ring the third time. A fucking trilogy. That proves to me that Deontay Wilder was a true warrior, right? So y'all don't have to respect Deontay Wilder, but I respect Deontay Wilder. The LDBC nut-sucking Deontay Wilder have nothing to do with me respecting Deontay Wilder. The fact that that man lost not once, but twice, and decided to do a trilogy with Tyson Fury, despite of what I believe that Tyson Fury was cheating, and he probably believed Tyson Fury was cheating, that takes a lot of guts, and that takes a lot of balls to do. That takes a lot of guts and that takes a lot of balls to get in the ring and fight the nigga the third time after you felt defeat twice. That's the difference between Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence Jr. Deontay Wilder never said, I'm going to clear out my side of the street first before I fight Tyson Fury. He never said that, bro. He never said that. He never said that. He fought this nigga despite of him believing that this nigga cheated and nigga spiked his water and all that shit, right? Could be excuses. But this man still went in there and fought like a real man, bro. Like a real man. He went in there and still fought this nigga a third time. Now, Mr. Errol Spence Jr., if this motherfucker wasn't busy clearing out his side of the street, him and Terrence Ball Crawford could have fought, did a trilogy just like Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Them motherfuckers could have been fighting the third time by now. If Errol Spence Jr. wasn't sitting here talking about, I'm going to clean out my side of the street. I'm going to go fight Porter, right? He wasn't saying that shit when a Caucasian and Jeff Horn had the WBO belt. He was not saying that shit. He wanted to beat up on the white boy, right? He wanted to beat up on the white boy. But when he seen a black man that has superior skills and have the greatest mindset that I ever seen in boxing, when you see that man approach you and that man step to you and that man says he wants to fight you, unlike all them other PBC guys, you started making excuses, bro. You started making excuses. You don't even want to fight that nigga. You talking about 70-30, 80-20. You rather do all of that just to fight this nigga. Deontay Wilder didn't do that. He didn't do that. He fought this nigga 3 times. He might have had excuses, which I don't believe that is excuses. I believe Tyson Fury was really doing some cheating shit. Whether he stuffed his gloves or they allowed this nigga, Tyson Fury, to take steroids. Tyson Fury already got caught for taking bad substances already. So that's me putting 2 and 2 together for him not be able to knock it out a fly to start knocking everybody out. You have to be on something, bro. You have to be on something. Nobody can tell me that, and nobody can tell me that up to today. It's just that there is no concrete evidence because they're not going to have any concrete evidence, you feel me? Because they allow him to do that. I couldn't talk about it anymore because there is no concrete evidence. But I believe that Tyson Fury was cheating. But Deontay Wilder didn't give a fuck. He fought him 3 times, bro. And Errol Spence Jr. waited this long to get in the ring with Terrence Ball Crawford because he's so-called cleaning out his side of the street, my nigga. So to answer y'all question, how come I respect Deontay Wilder and I don't and I don't respect Errol Spence Jr.? Because Errol Spence Jr. rather clean out his side of the street before you fight Terrence Ball Crawford, bro. He rather do that, bro. He rather do that. Deontay Wilder didn't give a fuck. He lost twice and he still got in there the 3rd time with this nigga and lost again and still hold his head high, bro. So that made Deontay Wilder a warrior. Errol Spence Jr. doesn't show me that. He doesn't show me that. He doesn't show me he's a warrior. If he was a warrior, he would have been got in the ring with Terrence Ball Crawford, bro. He wouldn't be talking about he's with Bob, he's with Bob and I'm with Al. He got to come to Showtime. He wouldn't be saying none of that shit. Y'all understand me? So if I was Uncle Tom or Uncle Ruckus, I would be an advocate on behalf of Tyson Fury, which I wasn't, right? And like I said, just because Tyson Fury is white, that doesn't mean that he cheated. But I believe he cheated using my knowledge. But just because this nigga's white, and say if I was an advocate of Tyson Fury, that does not make me an Uncle Tom, you stupid motherfucker. Do y'all understand that? Like, we're living in this world where we believe that all black people are good. When there's history show that Louis Farrakhan, like I stated in the past, Louis Farrakhan, he got Malcolm X killed right? He got Malcolm X killed. Y'all believe every white people are fucked up, and that's not true, bro. It's just not true. It ain't true. It's not true, bro. It's just not true. You feel me? So that does not make me an Uncle Tom because I'm aware that my people can be more fucked up to me than a white person can. That does not make me an Uncle Tom if I said that. And I didn't say anything like that. This man just called me an Uncle Tom because I'm calling out the LDBC for fucking trying to degrade Terrence Bell Crawford and trying to dismiss all his wins and try to make it look like he ain't never fought nobody. So that makes me an Uncle Tom because I'm an advocate for a black person. Stupid motherfuckers, bro. And this is the problem, bro. This is the problem right here. And this is just to show you that this is why the LDBC is able to manipulate y'all motherfuckers. Because y'all motherfuckers are dumb and y'all have no knowledge. Why didn't you just go on Google and check up what the fuck is an Uncle Tom was? Why didn't you just do that before you decided you're going to say something ignorant under my comments? Why didn't you do that? But it's probably one of y'all LDBC members, right? One of the slow motherfuckers. Because the smart motherfuckers, they want to say that. Like, I don't see Boxing Ego doing that. Sorry, Boxing Ego or Fanon or Bluebird, because they're intelligent enough to manipulate the fuck out of y'all. So I don't think they that dumb enough to sit here and call a man that's advocating for a black person an Uncle Tom. Right? I don't think they that dumb. Because they're smart enough to manipulate the fuck out of all their fans. And make their fans think that Errol Spence Jr. is a big fish. They're smart enough to manipulate y'all into thinking that. So I think these niggas are smart enough to know what an Uncle Tom is. So there's no way I'm going to take y'all niggas serious, bro. And this is just for all my Terrence Bell Crawford fans to see that these niggas think an Uncle Tom is advocating for a black person. So when you see Errol Spence Jr. fans underneath a comment, please don't have conversations with these guys. Please do not have conversations with these guys because they're not that intelligent. And I'm big on resources, right? I'm big on resources and I'm big on proving my point. So I felt like I proved my point today. If y'all enjoy this content, make sure y'all hit that like, make sure y'all share this video. And that's all I got for y'all. I'm out.